Hi. I don't think this video needs a trigger warning, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. If you can't handle your own emotions or you're triggered by certain topics, this video is probably not for you. Hi, my name's Elaine, and I'm a nurse here in the state of Kansas. I've posted a few videos so far, and I want to kind of explain or show some of the things that have made me the person I am today, and how they have prompted my videos. So if you've talked to anybody who's familiar with me in my, everyday life, they can tell you one thing, and it is I love Harry Potter. Yeah, I know, it's kind of silly, but I learned in Harry Potter some things that kind of, mold the way I see the world today, especially my government. And I live in the US, Kansas is in the United States, and they've molded me into the thought processes I have because of the tyranny I've seen in Harry Potter. So this will probably be a three section video, I guess, over the course of a few months. And the first part of this is it starts slowly. Anybody who's familiar with Harry Potter, it doesn't hit you in the face. It kind of grows. And while you're reading the books, you don't really notice what's happening until the end. And all these other factors until the last book. So it is a 7-book series, if anybody's not familiar with it. The first 2 books, you aren't exposed to it too much, especially until the 7th book, the last book in the series, explains some of the actions that took place beforehand. So, we're going to talk about the first 3 books here tonight, or today. And, what happens from book 1 and 2 is certain very prominent people in the Harry Potter world knew information that they didn't share. So I'm going to name off some characters. Obviously Harry Potter, he's the main character, right? He's the chosen one. Okay, then you have a player called Albus Dumbledore, and he is a headmaster of the school, the one school in their area, right? But he also is a very prominent figure in the wizarding world. He's defeated a very powerful wizard beforehand, Grindelwald. So he's kind of that guy that you go to because he's super knowledgeable and he's powerful and he just has a lot of information. And then you have the Minister of Magic, which changes throughout. You have 2 different ones that change throughout the series because the first one's incompetent. His name is Cornelius Fudge, and he's pretty much a people pleaser, which is really dumb. So you have some other players that are in there. The other biggest player that's throughout this whole series his name is Tom Riddle, or Lord Voldemort. So before I get into any of this going forward, I'm going to say there are spoilers. You can't really talk about tyranny without talking about the book, and I don't really want people to be like, oh, you told me spoilers, and, that's not nice. So the first book starts off with Harry being dropped off, right? Except for he's dropped off by Dumbledore, and Dumbledore has some dialogue with another character talking about how Tom Riddle, or Voldemort, is not gone. But that's information that's glossed over because you find out later that Dumbledore had some more information that he didn't share with anybody. So that's how propaganda starts. Right? We saw this with Elon Musk and the whole Twitter files. They had the information, but they didn't share it with the people who needed to share it with. And now we have tyranny. So that was the first part of propaganda and censoring that I was exposed to. Okay, so then we go into the second book because Voldemort did come back in a sense in the first book. So now we're in the second book. And you're exposed to some weird magic, right? That Dumbledore knew about. Okay? And it's not explained until later. Even though Dumbledore's fears were confirmed with this piece of magic, he still didn't say anything. Well, that's what Elon Musk is dealing with right now. He found out this information, and then he finds that it's censored by people there at Twitter. But we don't know this as the public. So this is how it works. It's all these small little steps. Let's go into book 3. I said we were going to talk about the first 3. There is a criminal, quote unquote, right? Again, spoilers. In this whole thing, right? Who is one criminal who has they put out the information that he killed some important people, especially Harry Potter. It said that he helped kill Harry Potter's parents. Okay? But then we find out later that that's not true. That this criminal isn't what they say he is. He didn't kill, and he didn't have any part of killing Harry Potter's parents. He's the scapegoat. Are you catching my drift? We can see that still today, in today's world. We're seeing that right now. Oh, the Twitter files are a bunch of nothing burger. It's file it under meh, or M for meh. We're going to sweep it under the rug. We're going to sweep all those information under the rug. You need to look at Donald Trump. He did so much worse. But they can't tell you what. Just like they couldn't tell you all the information that was involved in putting Sirius Black in jail. Because it was better to have a scapegoat than for the government to tell you that they screwed up. So I am part of this generation called millennials. And we grew up on these stories. Yeah, I grew up reading these stories. They were still coming out well into my high school years. Okay? So I saw in these books exactly a play-by-play about what the government's going to do and how they do it and how they discredit people who are literally living in the middle of it. And now, as an adult, and I'm older and wiser and I actually see the world, I see what they're doing to people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Steve Bannon and all those people that are jailed for January 6th. And all the information that the public doesn't get. And I see censorship. And I literally see over and over and over and over again the steps that were taken in a child's book. A child's book is giving me a play-by-play of what my government is going to do. And the rest of the people in my age group, the rest of the millennials, the people I have to interact with every day, they read the same things. And they still want to trust the government? I don't understand. I really don't. I wish I could. I really want to be that naive. I really want to believe that my government has the best interests at heart. I want to believe that we are still the same government that our founding fathers gave us. But we're not. And we literally have a book series out there. And this isn't the first one. I talked about in my last video about 1984. I'm going to go into more into depth in that one. But Harry Potter taught me about tyranny. And do you know what we need to do when we face tyranny? We need to stand up against it.